It is good, yo. It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over the top 5 releases in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. I've been getting a lot of questions about, what specific releases I prefer, and it honestly is subject to the specific position that a player plays, such as like a set shot 25. I like more at, a power forward center position than a point guard position. And it's kind of the opposite with like a jump shot 5 release. It's also different between current and next gen. So I'm going to be breaking down my top 5 on current gen and a top 5 on next gen as well. Now, before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel, man, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we're on the road towards 100,000 subscribers. Now, before we dive specifically into our top 5 today, I got to give you some honorable mention releases, okay? Because there are some decent releases that I think are really good. They're just not quite a top 5 on either gen. Now, the first release I am going to talk about that, in my opinion, is not quite a top 5 release happens to be the Steph Curry base. Now, we're seeing a lot of players starting to get this Steph Curry base. I can pull up a list of new players that we've gotten in my team that have happened to get that new base. I think the new James Harden did get this Steph Curry base, and with Harden's upper, it is pretty smooth. Some other people with that base, you're looking at Keegan Murray, whose release I am a big fan of. And that release is very solid in my team. Another release that I personally think needs to be up here is the Chet Holmgren release. It is jump shot 110, pretty similar to the Derrick Rose release. It's what Chris Webber has, and I was pretty knocked down with Chris Webber. But I also, again, I like it on Chet Holmgren. It's pretty quick, not necessarily the easiest to green in general, but I do indeed like it quite a bit. Another one that is an honorable mention with an exception is the Ray Allen base. And you guys might be like, what, Ty? The Ray Allen base is not top 5. It's not, but I do believe it is really close to being a top 5 release. It's what Jabari has, and for example, I don't love the release on Jabari, but I do love it on Kawhi Leonard. So if it was just strictly Kawhi Leonard's release, he would probably be top 5, but as an overall base, I do not have it in my top 5. And the last honorable mention release that did not make the top 5 is the Trey Burke base that guys like DeMar DeRozan and Tracy McGrady have. And again, I like this release. It is on the verge. It probably is a top 10 release, but it is not quite in the top 5. And so you guys might be like, okay, Ty, this is awesome, but what is the top 5 list like then? Well, let's dive into it. On next gen, guys, coming in at number 5, I don't know why I'm dribbling, is the Dante Exum base. On next gen specifically, guys, it's straight up and down. And I like it more for probably a non-point guard, although it is fine on a point guard. I think it's going to be better on a power forward type player. Again, I just think it's very similar to the Ray base. It's very similar to, the Rudy base that is another honorable mention one. But for me, I just think this as a straight up and down release is better than a Steph Curry type base. It's pretty similar. And it is just that little bit easier to time into green. Dyson Daniels has got it, and I feel like this was a common release that 2K gave people last year. It's not quite as good this year. It is still very solid in my team. On current gen, guys, coming in at number 5, we do have base 98 or the Dwayne Wade base. A lot of people might have this release higher on current gen, and if that's you guys, I'm okay if you guys have this release higher. I'm not saying it's a bad release. What I would say is it's just really quick. It's not necessarily the easiest to green in my opinion. And base 98 had its time last year. I still think it is a really good release. It's coming in at top 5. I wouldn't say that high on it. I do think it is better on current gen than next gen. And I put the D-Wade base right with base 98 because they are eerily similar. Now, again, I feel like base 98 is smoother on a point guard type player than a wing player. And so that plays a factor too. But I do like base 98 on current gen. Coming in at number 4 on next gen, we do have the Michael Jordan release that is super smooth and it's super green. You green so many lightlies with this release. I know I'm not greening any shots right here, but trust me when I say it is such an easy release to green. I honestly don't know why I'm not greening shots, but especially off the dribble with Michael Jordan, people green so many lightlies with this card. I mean, people will shoot anything with Michael Jordan because they know his release is so smooth. And it is really easy to time into green. We haven't seen a lot of the MJ release in my team quite yet. but I feel like even if it's on a power forward type player, it's knocked down. Coming in at number 4 here on current gen, we do have the Dante XM base, or at least I'm a little bit higher on current gen than next gen. Why? It's just because whenever I use Dyson Daniels, I love his release. And I feel like, again, similar to how it was on next gen, it's going to be better for off-ball players. It's straight up and down. It's quick, but it's not too quick. It's decently tough to get a contest on. And again, this video is just in my opinion. If you like other releases more than this, do what you guys have got to do. But I personally am a big fan of the XM base on current gen. Coming in as my 3rd best release on next gen, we do got Jump Shot 3. And you guys might be like, at number 3, it's my favorite release. And again, that's why it is subject to opinion. It might be the quickest release outside of my another release that we do have a little bit higher. But I will say, on a point guard, I think it is a top 2 release. I'll say that. I mean, I really think on a point guard, it's tough to beat. Cedric Maxwell was so cheesy for his specific time because of how good Jump Shot 3 is. And on next gen, guys, it does come in at number 3. On current gen, in my opinion, guys, the 3rd best release in the game is the Michael Jordan base. People green more with this, more lightlies with this, and it is one of the more annoying things if you have ever played against it. MJ's base on current gen is that little bit better, coming in at number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2, as far as my top 5 releases in my team, we do have Luka Doncic on next gen. Now, for point guard specifically, for Luka Doncic specifically, it is number 1. Now, I'll talk about why this release in general is not number 1 overall, but for Luka, there's no better release. Here's the deal. His release for a point guard, nearly impossible to contest. I mean, it's absolutely cheeseball. This release was the sole reason I won the no dribble challenge. I mean, this was the sole reason for it. And so if you're any lower on Luka's release on next gen, you're crazy. Coming in at number 2 on current gen is Jump Shot 3 again. A release on both gens that is really good. I'm just a little bit higher on it on current gen. I feel like it's that extra bit cheesy, right? I mean, it is probably, I want to say, the quickest release in the game on current gen. For point guards, I do feel like this would be my number 1 release in the game. And the problem is, not everybody's a guard, right? We got to account for that power forward position. I had to go and switch consoles, but coming in at number 1 on both current and next gen, we do get the Set Shot 25. Now you guys might be like, Ty, you really think this is the best release in the game? I do. I 100% do. And why? Because it's the most versatile. I think from the small forward through center position, this is your best release. And that's the, majority of positions. I can't say for point guards it is the best release in the game because I don't necessarily believe that. But for a catch and shoot situation, there's not a release I'd rather have on either gen than Set Shot 25. So on both current and next gen, guys, Set Shot 25, like the release that Bob Nedelecki and Shaquille O'Neal has, is my favorite release in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. That is going to wrap it up for our video today on the top releases in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Again, this is just my opinion. Some other good releases are like the LaMelo Ball release that Ben Wallace does have that is absolutely knocked down. The list goes on and on for good releases. These were the top of the top, though. The best of the best releases in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Hopefully, if you do play on next gen and current gen, this video can help you guys out. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new. As always, man, I love you guys and have a blessed day.